We are here at the AGO. I almost said the ROM.
Because we were talking about the ROM.
For the culture, the hip hop and contemporary art in the 21st century exhibit. Let's go! Can a rap song ever? You would hang that up? You would like that? You want to touch it? Yeah, it looks touchable. That's what's up.
It's all synthetic hair. It's crazy.
Huh?
It's all synthetic hair.
Oh, I thought it was real hair for a second. godmother of Canadian hip hop.
She was born in Kingston.
Yeah. Alright, go so boom. Fresh from the AGO Art Gallery of Ontario, yours true Slang, you. About to give my review of The Culture, which is the hip hop exhibit and contemporary art in the 21st century at the AGO. So it's giving you my perspective, my experience, my opinion. So don't take it too serious, okay? So let's start with the good, right? So off top, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing hip hop on that level in that type of institution, getting that type of light and shine. Too often it feels like we are just left in the dark or left on a lower level as something that's cool, but there's not really an art to it. There's not really nothing sophisticated about it. And this was an opportunity for that narrative to be changed or at least challenged, and I felt like they definitely did that, in my opinion. There was like just exhibits like the wave cap exhibit was beautiful. It was basically a, I don't know if you would call it a sculpture, but and it's not a painting, but it was a piece of art hanging on the wall, which was made of wave caps, and it looked great. Like from afar, you could even tell that it was wave caps. So things like that, I thought was beautifully done and represented a different side of the culture, that being hip hop. So that was dope. It was dope to see all the different types of people that came to see it, and dare I say, be affected by it. And they're getting to see hip hop in a different light, not just this music that plays on the radio, but how it affects and reverberates throughout culture, or how the culture affects other cultures and infects other cultures, for lack of a better word. Also, what I enjoyed is I feel like they covered a lot of the aspects of hip hop. So they had the dance in there, they had the fashion in there, they had the music playing, they had graffiti represented. I think maybe the only thing that I didn't really see represented was DJs, which is kind of wild. You know what I mean? Yeah, but that's probably the only thing I can't remember seeing in there in terms of the core elements of hip hop. And they definitely have the rap, of course, because everybody focuses on the rap nowadays when it comes to hip hop. That was dope. That was very dope. And it, like, just to name some of my favorite things that I saw, or favorite exhibits in there, or favorite pieces that I saw in there. They had a piece that was based on Jay-Z's 444, and it was a video presentation, different, just like a bunch of cuts of people dancing, or interpretive dance. That's what I should call it, interpretive dance, as well as other clips from popular culture, which can relate to hip hop. That was dope. They also had one for Kendrick Lamar's music, which was that was really good. Just showed West Coast life, LA life, in the hip hop sense, mostly based off of his album Good Kid, Mad City, which I think that was very well done, and I enjoyed it. I actually sat and watched the whole thing on both of them, both the Jay-Z and Kendrick thing. I decided to watch the whole thing, which is new for me at the AGO. I thought that's the good. Now, the bad. Hey, the bright side is there is no ugly. I wouldn't say there is any ugly. It was beautiful. So, the bad now, to me, this is my personal opinion. I said this often, and I'm going to, unfortunately, I feel like I have to say it again here. Why is hip hop culture or black culture always synonymous with negativity or negative imagery, I should say? Or, it's always ghetto, it's always violent, it's always like they always like to represent it from that angle, the gang affiliations, all of these, which are elements or part of the hip hop culture. There's no denying that. This is where hip hop comes from, the trenches, the ghettos of America. That's where it comes from. The ghettos of Jamaica and the ghettos of Puerto Rico. Like, these influences are brought into hip hop, and that's what created such a great culture, right? So there's no denying that. I have no problem with that being represented. What I don't like is there's a lack of balance. And how hip hop is represented to the general masses seems to always be from a negative perspective. I feel the same way about dancehall, being, of my Jamaican descent. But where's the balance? Like, there's a lot. There is the monies and violence and the drugs and the gangs and the gold teeth and the loud and obnoxious. Those are very much so part of hip hop, and it's also part of the beauty of hip hop. Don't get me wrong, but there is that other side. There is the college dropout that Kanye did, like his whole, the bear, the mascot, like that side of the art is missing. The Cardinal Officials of the world who added to it from a Canadian perspective mixed with the Caribbean perspective. We're missing that. Like, we're missing. And again, like, as I'm saying this, I understand that it is an art exhibit. It is not the ROM, so they're not depicting the history of the culture. It's more of an artistic interpretation of the culture. I understand that. But it still felt like there was, like, it just was focused on a certain low vibration of hip hop, and there's so much of a high vibration. Where's the Most Defs? Where's the Public Enemy? Like, you could even just hang the Public Enemy logo in there as a representation of that side. We're missing the most Defs of the world, the Commons of the world, the Dream Warriors of the world, which I'll get to. Like, we're missing all those types of elements in when we're saying, this is hip hop, because hip hop is more than. That's what I should be saying. Hip hop is more than just that low vibrational ghetto side of things. And it's time that we just, again, we're in 2025, man. We got to start representing that. That was one thing. My other thing that I had a problem with, being that I am a Canadian artist, I am in a Canadian institution, which is in a Canadian location, I would have assumed that there would have been a lot more Canadian representation. A lot more Canadian hip-hop representation. There is a rich history here that goes ignored not only by the world, but by our own Torontonian Canadians they just don't know. Like, it's things that they don't know, and I felt like this was an opportunity to open people's eyes and minds to how rich and vast and how deep that history goes. Yes, you had Drake's jacket from the One Dance video up there. Cool. You had a couple of his album covers up there. Cool. You had a Mishi Me picture from a magazine from back in the day. Cool. I think those two artists truly do represent two pillars of our scene from past to present. I do believe that. Mishi being the godmother, Drake being the biggest artist we ever had. So I think that's dope. They're well deserving. They also had the group photo of the Great Day in Toronto Hip Hop, a Great Day in Toronto Hip Hop, which was dope. And it's ironic that it had so many people that were influential in the scene. They had Ron Nelson in there. They had Socrates in there. They had some of the Monolith was in there. Mishi was in there. Motion was in there. DJs, producers, execs, label heads. They had a lot of people. They had a lot of people in there that I didn't even recognize or know that was a part of the scene like that. But they were definitely in there, which was, again, dope on the bright side. What's ironic is that there were so many people missing from that photo. And I know it's difficult to get all these people in the same place at the same time to take a picture. Very difficult, I'm sure. But very important to have certain people involved in it. It was a Toronto focused thing, but what about cats like Swollen Members and the Rascals? I cannot remember the Rascals manager, but these people are essential. Shoot, they should have had a Rap Essentials cover on the wall somewhere. But these people are essential to what hip-hop in Toronto is now. And I just think we should have had that. I think there should have been some younger cats in there. I think that was underrepresented. I think that there should have been some younger cats in there representing what's going on now. There should have been the Pressas in there. There should have been the, I don't know, maybe top 5. It should have been in there. Friday, Ricky Dredd should have been in there. Because he's not only representing the older cats with Empire and that movement, but also the newer cats with his podcast. Gucci, 416 should have been in there. So many cats I could name. But I think the Toronto or the Canadian, more importantly, element was lacking in representation, was underrepresented, and that would be like one of my two major critiques of the exhibit. Other than that, man, I had a good time. I enjoyed myself. I'm glad I went. I've been to the AGO a few times, so it was very refreshing to see hip hop in those hallways and on those walls for once. And hopefully it's not the last time. So I encourage you to go check it out, so that, to make sure it's not the last time. I encourage you to go and support the culture, the exhibit, and then therefore by extension the culture on a whole. It is something that we should see and support. So I hope that you do that. This is my little 2 cents. It's yours true, Slang Hugh. I'm out.